can fade when the nights grow long, but the quiet inside still hums a song. You've carried the cause through storm and rain. Don't let the silence erase the game. Your mark still counts, your mark still shows. The future is written by those who chose. Don't let the moment pass you by. The echo is stronger when we try. A second hand upon the flame. Together we can do it once again.
Good evening. How are we all tonight? Hope we're all good. It's a Sunday evening, some couple of tunes, couple of wee chit chats, couple of wee hellos, and we are actually in TikTok land as well, which is pretty cool. Like being in TikTok land.
It's easy to feel like nothing will change, that the weight of the world is fixed and strange. But the lines we draw, the small, the unseen, are sparks in the dark where the light has been. Your mark still counts, your mark still speaks, a whisper that carries through all the weeks.
There we go. Mic is on. Good evening, Scotland. Good evening, social media land. I hope you're well. It is the 21st of September, 2025, a Sunday night here at Radio Saorsa, a night where the British Empire have recognised Palestine as a state. Free Palestine. Now the question remains, though, will Keith Starmer recognise Palestine Action as a non-prescribed organisation? I don't know. I don't think that they will. I don't think that they'll stop selling weapons either. I don't think they'll do any of that whatsoever. I think that's something that we all need to be mindful of, is that the world might have turned round and said, hey, look, that's a bit of a shitstorm going on over there. We better do something about that. But it's too little, too late. I think, yeah, Zen Bloke said that across in YouTube land. Anybody saying anything in TikTok land about it? Not yet. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think it's better to be recognised than not recognised. It's a start. But say that to every single family that's lost a life. Eh? Shocking. Right, let's have a look what we're going to talk about tonight. So, the past few nights we've brought up a couple of times this thing, the TWEEDDALE amendment to John Swinney's resolution, but we've not really talked about the detail of it all. So we're going to go into the detail of it all, but I'm going to have a quick look around the rooms just now and see who we have. There's Henry, Gary, Bryce, Lisa, all hanging out, and Zen as well, all hanging out in YouTube land. And Lisa's jumped across to TikTok land as well. Bryce, you are being a social media whore from backwards and forwards there. He's also on Discord as well. He'll probably hear me say that in just a second, and I hope he gives me a big smile in the screen in Discord. Yes, we have our own Discord, and we use our Discord quite frequently as well. So hold on a wee second. I'm going to bring up our Discord, so hopefully this is the right one. Yeah. So listen, if you have Discord, all right, and you want to come and join our little gang in Discord, use that QR code that's up there just now, up on the screen. Okay, you'll get into the Radio Saorsa part of everything. Yeah, that's Bryce waving just now. Yeah, he's a funny guy. But they're all hanging out. Lisa, Bryce, and a few other people are hanging out in Discord just now. They help me do stuff. They moderate the show here. They come on and do different things, which is really good. And they're good. They're what can I say? They're great activists for Scottish independence. They are very positive, upbeat sort of people generally, anyway. And what can I say? They're my buddies. They keep me going. Right. So before we get into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is John Swinney's resolution, I'm going to take about half a dozen of those key points, and then we're going to talk about, after that, what the TWEEDDALE amendment counters with regards to that. We're going to play a wee tuney tune. Which one should we play? This one's a bit of a dour one, but we're going to play it anyway. And we will be back in a couple of minutes after we've played it.
They mock us, they tear us apart. They steal from our hands and call it their art. They shut down our future, they sell off our name, then laugh in our faces and tell us we're tame. Let them tighten the noose, let them sharpen the blade, let them steal what they can till the price is paid. Let them think we are broken, let them think we are done, but they'll kneel when they hear the roar of a nation as one. they burn us, they silence our cries, they poison our minds with their beautiful lies. They gut us, they grind us, they tell us to bow, but their time is fading, it's ending right now. But their hands are shaking, their grip is weak, their empires rotten, their walls all leak. They fear the day the dam will break when all their stolen power shakes. Let them tighten the noose, let them sharpen the blade, let them steal what they can till the price is paid. Let them think we are broken, let them think we are done, but they'll kneel when they hear the roar of a nation as one. What's ready to rise? No king can rule when the people defy. Let them push harder, let them betray, for the reckoning comes, and it comes today. Let them tighten the noose, let them sharpen the blade, let them steal what they can till the price is paid. Let them think we are broken, let them think we are done, but they'll kneel when they hear the roar of a nation as one. Let them tighten the noose, let them sharpen the blade, let them dig their own graves with the lies they made, for the flood will rise and the chains will fall, and the last thing they'll hear is the freedom call.
Boom, there we go. That should be us back, this time with sound and everything. Look, I'm getting better at doing this, isn't I? It means that I'm actually pushing the right buttons to go from camera to camera and play and stop the music perfectly. Barry would be proud of me. What can I say? Right, what do we want? Cheese on toast, Lisa? I don't think so. Well, actually, no, yeah, cheese on toast we can have. I was about to say roasted cheese there and go against all my grains. That's just a little Discord joke there. Right, listen, let's get on with what we're wanting to talk about tonight, and that is these resolutions. Now, understand a bit of background here just now. There's a bit of a convergence with people within the movement going towards using the second vote, your list vote, as a plebiscite, as a way of expressing our national sovereignty, our national determination, our will and want to be a independent nation. The court, the Supreme Court said that we cannot legislate for ourselves for this, right? And we will never get permission from Westminster ever again to do a Section 30. I just don't see that happening. They know that they will lose. So my feelings are that we should be using the list vote as a plebiscite, a way just to say we're not going to get independence from it, but if we turn round and we manage to get over 50%, it's going to cause a constitutional crisis, and it's a basis from a foundation from where we can step up towards it. You know, the world will actually see us as something other than just a part of the United Kingdom. So John Swinney said that he wants his resolution, this is his strategy for the 2026. We're going to go through 6 points of it very briefly. It's a Section 30 strategy. Its independence is to be pursued by asking Westminster for another Section 30 order. I don't like that. We know it's not going to happen. He believes that referendum is the only route. States that a national referendum remains the right way forward. Now, we have to have some sort of legal ballot to show that we are wanting it. So even with the plebiscite, I feel that maybe a referendum would be necessary afterwards. He also calls on both votes SNP. Now, this is a strategy for power, in my opinion, okay, from going back to 2011. He believes that this is the only way to secure a majority of SNP MSPs, is the only route to getting that Section 30, because it's been had before. We had it in 2011 going into the 2014 referendum itself. My opinion on that: do you have something written on paper, John? Do you have something that actually says, hey, if the SNP get a majority, that we are going to get a referendum? We're going to get that Section 30. If you don't have that, then what are you talking about? At the end of the day, I just don't think that's going to happen at all with that. Right. The next little point on his one is the mandate is measured by seats. So if the SNP get a majority of seats, they might obtain that majority of seats, but it's might be by 30-40% of the popular vote. Whereas if we use the list, we could probably obtain more than 50% easily of the electorate voting for yes. Vote yes on the list. That's what I say. And once, this is John Swinney's resolution, once we have that in place, once we're moving forward, there is no framework after that. There is no clear delivery framework. There's a focus on campaigning for independence, but no target date, no provisional government, and no delivery unit to make it real. So how do we feel about this? How do we feel about John Swinney? His ideas for this, I'm gonna put this across to YouTube and TikTok land just now about how it actually looks. I've got TikTok land on my phone here and YouTube land up on the screen. So have a wee think about it. I'm going to play another song just now. Let me get it queued up. What one should we play? Yes, this one here. Cool. This is a better one, a little bit more upbeat than the last one. Let's get playing it. Radio Saorsa, bringing you creamy, chocolatey sounds through the night.
Too long, our story is written in every song. The banners we raise are made from the crowd. Together we whisper, together we're loud. This choice is ours, no one can steal the strength of a nation, the truth we feel. day when we dreamed on that stage. One more can still echo the sound of a yes. Your second choice matters. It speaks what we press. The torches are broken. It passes again. From mother and fathers to children of the glen. This moment is ours. The people are clear. The future is waiting. The dawn's drawing near. This choice is ours. Forever strong. The will of the people has led us along. Stand up, let your voice be free. Mark the future for all to see. Not by orders, not by command, but by the will of this ancient
I quite like that tune. I think it's not too bad, to say the least. It's a bit more bouncy than the first one we played earlier on tonight. Right, we've been talking about John Swinney's resolution and the key points from there. We said that it was all about Section 30. It's all referendums, the only route, both votes SNP. The mandate was assured by the seats, and there was no clear delivery framework for it all. Now, this is getting put to the SNP faithful at the conference in October. This is the first one that we're voting on, the first resolution that we'll be voting on, and that's to be our independent strategy going into the Holyrood election next year. Now, I said earlier on at the start that there seems to be this convergence to be using the list as a plebiscite. I'm all for it. And it's not just the wider movement that's thinking that. There's at least 43, possibly even 60 branches of the SNP that are going to back TWEEDDALE's amendment. TWEEDDALE is a branch, okay, and they've been causing a bit of a stir, I would say, basically saying, no, we want to do something different. Okay, so this is where I've taken each of the previous John Swinney points and I've brought in what TWEEDDALE wants to do differently for this, okay? So the first thing was a Section 30 dependence. Swinney's resolution ties independence to asking Westminster for another Section 30 order, okay? However, the TWEEDDALE rejects this outright, recognising Westminster will never grant, ever grant a Section 30 again. They're not going to, because they know they're going to lose. They will lose that big time. That whole idea of them doing this, they're never going to give up power. They're never going to give up Scotland. We're their cash cow. You guys know this. The activists all know this. You know that we're going to do this. Like, it's frustrating. I get frustrated every single time I think about a Section 30. Let's move on before I start going off on a rant. So the next part of John Swinney's one was a referendum-only approach, where Swinney says he will, will frame a national referendum as the right way forward. We do have to have a national ballot at some point, without a doubt. That's absolutely necessary, but not on the back of a Section 30. TWEEDDALE deletes this completely from it all. Though this is where it gets interesting. It insists that the 2026 election itself must be the plebiscite, that it must must be the actual vote. Why not? Why can't it be? Okay, I've thought many times that we still need a national vote. We might need something to ratify afterwards, but let's be bold, let's be brave, let's use this as the way forward. The next thing that John Swinney says, he pushes for a both votes SNP, which is an SNP only majority of MSPs, whereas like the SNP are the gatekeepers of independence. They are the only ones that are fighting for independence. No, they're not. We're not living in 2011 anymore where there's just the SNP. We have other political parties and we have other civic groups. We have other organisations. We have apolitical people all fighting for independence. So TWEEDDALE rejects this monopoly of both votes SNP. It says it broadens the mandate to include all pro-independence parties and independent individuals on the list, not just SNPs. What that means then is that basically any vote for any independence party or independent individual is a vote for yes, a yes vote. Can you see how that would work in comparison to both votes SNP? It makes the list more realistic because people will vote for who they want, but as long as the individual or the party that they're voting for has independence on their manifesto, a vote for us is a vote for independence. We're all about independence, independence this, independence that. Doesn't matter if they're talking about Indy and it's on their actual manifesto. A vote for them is a yes vote. Okay, so the mandate previously was assured by seats. Swinney measures success by 65 MSPs. TWEEDDALE's amendment shifts the mandate to popular vote, the number of people voting yes on the list ballot, just as I said. Okay, it makes it more realistic. It makes it more people orientated. It is about the people rather than the party. SNP are not the gatekeepers of independence. They are not. Nicola Sturgeon and Alex Salmond, they both said independence will come to Scotland when the people of Scotland want independence, not when the SNP says the people want independence. It's about us. It's not about them. So there's kind of vague promises with what John said towards the end, like there was no delivery date about how to get independence and things. TWEEDDALE changed that again. Swinney's resolution offers aspirations but no clear delivery mechanism. TWEEDDALE inserts real building blocks. A target date for independence, a provisional government and an independence delivery unit to bring forward all those particular things that we need to be independence: currency, central bank, infrastructure for government, furthermore than what we have just now. The SNP aren't talking about that. Okay. However, the TWEEDDALE branch with their allies are. And this is where it becomes really important. The wider movement moves towards this resolution, moves towards this idea. The SNP faithful and old school leadership remain in 2011. The branches, at least 43, if not, there's rumour has it about 60 of them now, move towards what TWEEDDALE want. And I will be one of the delegates going to conference in October specifically for this. What do you think? What do you think of that? I personally think that that's a great thing. Right, we're going to play one more song and then we'll see who's in the chit chat, see if we've got anything interesting going on, and then we're going to call it a night. Okay, right, let's see, which one shall we play? We shall play this.
break the stone. You can try to bind the fire, but flames will find a way. Too important to ignore, too loud to be silenced. When the people rise together, the chains are broken down. Too important to ignore, too loud to be silenced. The power lies within us, and nothing holds it now. They feared the song our hearts would sing, so tried to still the drum. But echoes carry farther on, and louder they become. You can try to hush the thunder, but storms will have their day. Too important to ignore, too loud to be silenced. When the people rise together, the chains are broken down. Too important to ignore, too loud to be silenced. The power lies within us, and nothing holds it now. Not crowns, not courts, not iron gates can cage the morning sky. A thousand voices rising up will teach the night to fly. You can try to stop the morning, but dawn will break the dark. Too important to ignore, too loud to be silent. When the people rise together, the chains are broken down. Too important to ignore, too loud to be silent. The power lies within us, and nothing holds it now.
There you go. I quite like that song. I've got that song also set up on an animation, which is all about not both votes. It's all about voting yes on the list as well for it all. We have a quick jump across to TikTok land. I saw Always Yes too. Hiya, how are you? I've not seen you for ages. I've not been live on TikTok for ages as well. Yes, it was really nice to see you in Edinburgh as well at the march. I was knackered after that march. I don't know if you're aware that I've got quite a horrible illness. I'm not going to go into deep sort of chat about it because it's like Shocking, but it's not going to stop me doing what I'm doing. But this is why I'm doing it this way now instead of making videos as often as I did. Making videos was like a lot more difficult to sit down and edit, whereas I can play a few tunes here. I can have a wee chat with what's going on and everything with everybody. I can speak to the guys in Discord as well, and basically do my activism this way. So we've talked about the TWEEDDALE, we've talked about John Swinney's resolution. How do you feel about this? How do you feel collectively as a movement? It's kind of rhetorical just now. I think we should be moving towards a plebiscite. I think we should be moving towards a popular vote on the list. And I think that you guys as activists, it's your job to go out and do your 15 minutes of activism a day. That's something that we need to start moving forward into as an entire movement. Everybody needs to be doing 15 minutes of activism a day. And that can be anything from liking and commenting and sharing people's stuff, or speaking to somebody in a shop, speaking to somebody while you're waiting to buy your lunch. Okay, it's an election next year. Who are you voting for? People will get interested in that again. Do you remember the referendum? Do you remember, 2016 as well? Get those conversations going. Get that energy going. Get the national conversation going about voting yes on the list. There are hundreds of thousands of yes voters out there waiting to find a cause again, waiting to get up and deliver a yes vote that is basically final. We can do this, and we will talk about this every single night, about voting yes on the list and pushing this forward. So tomorrow, when you're on the bus and you're speaking to somebody, or tomorrow when you're at work, and ask them, how did they vote in the referendum? How did they feel about it? How are they going to change things now? How do they feel we can take that forward? And then insert into that conversation that says, let's vote yes on the list. What does that mean? Well, that means voting for any independence party on the list. I don't want to vote for the SNP though. Well, then don't. Vote for the Greens. Vote for ALBA. Vote for your local independence person. Go and do that. It's the way to be thinking about it. Right, Discord. I promised Bryce that I would make sure that I would bring up the Discord. No, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. There we go. So we do have a Saorsa Discord, and I've basically set it up with this QR code so you can come into the Radio Saorsa section. So this has an introductory part where you can, introduce yourself. It's got when the next show's on. I've still got to put the rules on. If you want to come on the show one time, we can actually have you come in to the Discord studio and actually speak right live in here. You're not going to be seen with your face or anything. It's like a phone-in almost, and it's a great way of getting other activists to come and tell their stories, and I'm all for it. So we can do that, and you just have to arrange it, and that's why we have this part of the Discord. So if you do have Discord, please use that QR code just now and come and join us anytime you want. The other guys there just now, we've got Henry, we've got Lisa, and we've got Bryce that are all sitting in there just now. We've got Ian as well. They're actually all sitting in there just talking away. Okay, and if we see anybody else that comes in, we'll come and say hi to you guys too. We've also got coming up all the marches next year, and all under one banner have released their dates. So you've got the Glasgow, Stirling and Inverness next year as well. So I'm sure that Paul, the Silent Klansman, will be delighted that there's one up in Inverness. He won't have too far to travel for that one. It means that I'll have to go up that way. I hope you have a great big garden up there for my tents. We're going to have the full Saorsa clan coming up to camp up at your bit, Paul. I hope you do live up in Inverness way, don't you? I think you do. I could be totally wrong. Anyway, regardless, we're going to call it a night. What time is it? It is 23:42. We have one little piece of music that will just play gently going out. 1 second. I'm going to pull down so we don't blast you with it. It's just a wee bit of sort of ambient, sort of dancey music. I can't hear it on my speakers here. Hold on. Can you hear it? Can you? Hang on. There you go. So this is just it's about a 7-minute track, and what we'll do is we will finish with this tonight, and yeah, I will switch the mic off, I will put the Discord slide on, and we'll play out to this. You guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and I should be back tomorrow or Tuesday with more nonsense. Okay, take it easy. Again, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We will be back tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, probably tomorrow. It's beginning to be a bit of fun coming on now, so why not keep going, eh? Have a great night.